Live again. I'm recording. I wanted to share some thoughts on the market today. The sun is hitting directly in my head, but I don't mind. I could do something about it, but then I would lose the fresh air. So it's going to have to stay like this. Okay, let's put some music. Yeah, today is like this. And the reason for that is because I had two successful trades. The last trades that I entered were successful. And you know what? Let me search for my live stream, and I'll post it on my Twitter. Okay. Okay, everything is wrapped up. So I literally just in this moment quit those two trades. You know, I just finished my morning routine. Sorry for the noise. It's still, yeah. My cat is not giving me a chance. Or it's just water. No, it's not just water. No, it's not just water. Okay, I shouldn't be mad. Guys. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it later. I'm gonna clean this tablet for the third time in a row. Jesus. Okay. So my prediction was that the US oil is going to bounce back in the region of 50, 61.8, but it doesn't mean that it's going to do that. It's already at 50 and it's losing steam. So I decided, okay, it's Friday, it's 50. It's possible we're gonna bounce from 50 and not from 61.8, especially given how it's. Sorry, I could it. Right. I just have to remember that I must look at my water, because I'm cooking water for tea again. So nothing very complicated. Just a wish that is going to behave like I want it, and it does. But I just as I said, I just escaped this trade, and also GBP USD. GBP USD has surprised me that it went so like dramatically down, almost towards my take profit level, and it's probably going to get there, but I entered because it was already good risk to reward for me. The full risk to reward is like 2.5, but this was like 2 risk to reward ratio, and it was good good end to the week. So I finished my jogging and my stretching, and I'm preparing for the breakfast. And I see this wonderful news. Yeah, is it coincidence? No, I just wanted to play the soul music in the background. I hope it's not going to violate the rights. It's just me listening to music. I'm recording myself. I'm not recording the music actually, so should be fine. I have to read more about that. Okay, I'm not gonna just forget about trading now, because I need more setups. And seeing GBP USD like this, do you believe me now that I was right about the 61.8, how important it is? You see that now. So if you have a bigger fib and the price is not respecting that 61.8 level, there's a high chance it's going to bounce from another levels and then continue in your direction. So this is a nice way to actually talk about trading when we have a live winning case, which happened just seconds away. And now this big candle, if this closes and not recovers, because it's 4-hour candle, it still has 30 minutes to close. It can go all the way back or even reverse completely. But no, we have a 1-hour strong closure. It means it could even go lower. But I'm not gonna enter right now. There's not a good place to enter right now. Okay, so this is recording. This is live recording. I'm doing this live. Nobody is there, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's look for some other entries for the weekend. What is Bitcoin doing? Do you remember what I was saying about daily time frame, and that we had a cross of 200 moving average and 100 moving average? It's a bearish sign. It's a complete like confirmation in a already trending market down. It's a confirmation that this is going to fall lower. Oh, I was hearing myself talking live. This was very strange. So I myself am watching my live stream. I hope it wasn't interfering as much, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Soul music. Let's quickly go over other pairs. And as you can see, my predictions about Nasdaq were also correct. We are bouncing back down. What is it? Okay, it's my video on TradingView. Let's look at the economic calendar. Today is a Friday. I remember we had the United Kingdom, USA, Canada, and USA important news, because they have high importance. Let me quick check my tea. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, let's go back. Let's get right back into it. So from the news, and when we have so many important news at 1:30, which is in 4 hours from now, then perhaps it would be wise to avoid US dollar pairs. GDP measures the value of goods and services produced in the UK. The reading refers to a month-over-month growth rate, 0%. 0% growth rate in the United Kingdom. Not good. No. On Nasdaq, there was only reasonable place to enter short right now, and still it wasn't a safe, secure place due to the previous structure. And right now, if anything, I might aim towards a long if there is going to be a fib, and if this candles prints upwards. But no, still on a daily, still is the same bias. So I guess if the opportunity occurs, then I'm gonna probably enter short again on this one. US oil. Let me get a vertical here, because I do want to remember the trades that I placed and when. That's the difference between the trade that I entered and I didn't enter it. S&P. Now on S&P, on a higher time frame, no, it's quite similar to the US tech. There's also this Dow Jones index. It's sometimes good to look at them and compare them, S&P, US tech. Like you can clearly see that when S&P had equal highs, Nasdaq was already trending below, so Nasdaq show the sentiment of the market a little bit more than S&P, although we are still in the consolidation range, and this is not clear for me, and probably for anyone to say how it's going to play out. But in my opinion, of course, we're gonna see a tap below, a quick tap, and then recovery, just like it was before. Recovery and not a recession, because if this would prolong, if such trends would prolong, like you see they lasted here before. So we had a short periods of kind of recession, yeah, when there was like downtrend whole year, almost whole year. We can still have it. We can still have it back, and it's something that most traders probably are afraid of, because when the market is trending like this, you can't really say, okay, this is over, and you have a whole year, almost whole year of like this downtrend, this consolidation, of this undecisiveness. It's not good, and because the markets have the like qualities, and they tend to behave in a similar manner, because when they change their behavior, it's always like new territory, almost like everything you learned before you have to just throw out to the trash. About the market, of course, about this particular market. So right now I'm hoping for a quick something like that, quick correction, which wasn't that quick in any case, to be honest. Like 7 days, it's like two months. So if we're gonna start this year, we all like, when does the first quarter ends? It's probably end of the March. So we still have some time to end the first quarter, but the first quarter was a consolidation in this market. US oil, S&P, German 40. German 40 is, I don't know for what kind of traders. I would really like to know, or like have somebody to show me how do they trade German 40. because you cannot find a clean fib. You have many gaps over there. Perhaps going into way smaller time frames, like 15 minutes. Perhaps that's the solution to that. But when I do trade on a 15 minute or 30 minutes, then I'm lacking this bigger picture, which I really like to have, because that was what my mentor, like the guy who really transferred his passion into me, has always looked at the markets. Because I really have this, I want to be able to place a position. And this is the only way when you really can have a feeling about the market, because you are actually analyzing for the position trading, but position trading means trading in a like for a month, holding position for a month or weeks. And I'm not a trader like that. I don't want to I don't have enough money to be a position trader in the stock markets or in the forex market. Because of course I could be. It depends on the settings of the account. But I want to dive into details from the position trading point, and then eventually go to the day trading. And this is when I test my abilities. And for example, in the case of US oil and GBP USD, it worked, but it not always work, as you can clearly see from my previous videos. But my point is that on German 40 you cannot really wrap the market around any kind of position trading, like when to buy, when to sell German 40. When to buy, when to sell. No, it's more like hazard, a gamble to me. That's why I have it there, because I have a sentimental. It has a sentimental meaning for me, because when I was starting my journey with trading many years ago, in the first group that I was, this was a Polish group, they were trading German 40. I don't know if they still do. It was a very highly paid group, and they gave signals every week. There was a signal. It was a strange group. I haven't learned much from that group, and it cost a lot of money to be there. Gold. So I didn't want it to enter gold, because I had a feeling it's going to keep me trapped like this, and you can see. But still, it means, remember what I said, when it bounced back, it's going to be a occasion for another long. And why did I said that? Why did I said that? No, let's look at the market as it is. So it was climbing slowly higher. We reached $5,600 per ounce gold, and then boom, we have unleashed some trigger, and the market cannot endure these levels anymore. And a huge sell-off was happening. So it literally shifted a trend. So now we are in a downtrend. And this downtrend was very strong initially. Then it turned to be a little weaker. And then way weaker than that. So the algorithm has reset. All this pressure over there has exploded. And then there was like few waves. First very solid wave, and then retracement from that wave, and then a reaction from that wave, and then another retracement from that wave. Now it's a displacement of a price action. You see that huge displacement. It's a 21% crash in gold. It should be going up constantly. I was a couple of years ago, I was very deep into fundamentals. I really liked to study the stuff about economy and stuff. And you know, some guys like Michael Maloney or other gold enthusiasts, like, were saying that for now, the dollar and the currency is so like spoiled that we should see, like right now, gold is so undervalued. We should see it at 15,000 or $20,000 per ounce. It was already a couple years ago, so it's still nothing. $5,600 is still nothing, and it's still undervalued. So, but it doesn't matter in the terms of trading, because you don't, like, the fundamentals are important just for position trading. But how the market move, how the algorithms are playing out the charts. This is a technical analysis, and this is how you have to spend your hours, and you have to be willing to learn and fail countless times, and plan a strategy to not ever destroy yourself, destroy your account. So why I flipped it again? Because, you know, we have a downtrend, and this downtrend is weakening. We went back to 88.6, which was a point of like reset of RSI. Like from there, look at this. From there to there, 88.6. You see that? It doesn't mean anything. I'm just playing smart. It doesn't mean anything, really. One. You know, looking at this just from a logical standpoint, we had some kind of trend line over there. Yes, so the market was sharply attacked and falling down, and then like first perfect retracement 61.8, another retracement also 61.8 but flattened, which I already said, and a third one which is probably also perfect 61.8, yes, a little like wick below, with slightly different dynamic than the previous the two previous ones. And now a market struggles to reach higher levels. And additionally, there is a trend line, which is not absolutely perfect. But it's anyway, however we look at this trend line, it's disrespected, which means we could be looking for a signs of good entries towards downside, because you know gold had a chance to break above previous highs. No, it had a chance. It didn't make it. Additionally, we are at 29.2. of this whole move. But I'm pretty sure if the gold continues falling down, then the markets are going to panic, and other markets like Nasdaq is going to follow. Is going to follow that. You know, I really like trading because it gives me space to be creative with my thinking. And of course, it's very painful when I'm wrong. But it also gives me a good opportunity to learn and temper my ego, because you know I was wrong many times. As you could see in my previous videos, I was probably more times wrong than I was right. Oh, too bad that this disappeared. I feel like this fib we don't need anymore, because it wasn't properly respected. I feel like this fib is going to be more useful over there. And you know, now simply looking at how rapidly it made a correction compared to the previous structure on gold, how it went up, how it slowly went up. It has to be something. And as you can see, like two levels, two 29.2s are lining up, which is a sign that this is going to be important. So perhaps even going short on this. for the weekend might be a good idea. From 29.2, and we already had a reaction. No, we already had reaction to with 29.2. The price broke down below it. But you know, gold likes smaller time frames. But I don't like them because I'm losing my focus. Look what I did. It went to the price went to 50. Many things are pulling the price in many directions. So the trend line was there and it was respected, as you can see. What is this black level? Is this the current price action, or was it? What was it? What was it? Something else. I don't know why I placed it there. I very rarely place such levels. Oh, this is the level of equilibrium on the price, and we are already already there. Look, we had one chance to reach to the 61.8, and this chance was taken. Right? Right. And right now, something still wants to push the price higher. You see that? Let's look at the RSI, how it behaves. You know, we have a strong pulling. For example, this candle, this volume candle, I mean. Previous ones also. Huge volumes over there on these candles. No, I haven't took this, so I'm gonna just minimize it so that it's not distracting me. But why would I? Okay, the reason that I want to switch or like flip my bias on gold is just because of time and space. Time and space. That's pretty simple. A direct line represents time and space. not very clean trade, but I would really lean towards a short on gold. I don't want to spend like 2 hours rambling about gold and why should I short it from there. But I think you get the idea, and I get the idea myself, which is most important. I'm afraid to switch to silver. What would I have to see? I think the best point to enter, I think the best point to enter short would be if price went back there and printed me an engulfing candle, then I would go short. If it's going to happen on Friday today, then I'm probably going to do that. Price channels, okay. Silver. Silver is my crush. I really like silver. Why this huge velvet field over there? What's the reason behind it? Let's get rid of it. I don't remember. That's not good. Not a good sign. Position trading. Now I hope when I finally get some good amount of money, I'm gonna be able to afford to buy silver again from those levels. Very low levels, like $30 per ounce. I was buying silver for that price in my position trading. And I had no idea it's going to like be in my lifetime that it's going to go so high. I was just hoping, maybe. Okay, this is going to have to go because it's not helping. So that's just just the price is in the range of point of control. So what does it tell me? That the market is rotating now, and now what? Now we're gonna see a slightly swing. No, this is a point of control. So price is rotating around it, and so what? This is going to go so. You don't know. Don't know. Therefore, you see, it's slightly different than gold. No? Gold showed that it wants to go higher. And silver probably went too high before, and it had to retrace and not fall too strong, so there's the difference. Gold has fallen down 21%, and the silver dropped 40%. 41%. That's amazing heavy drop. Jesus. No. And then it dropped again. And then it dropped again. 30%. Another 30%. Do you know how badly would it harm silver if it dropped at once? If it dropped at once, I don't know, we would have to calculate it, but it would probably go 50 or 60% at once, something in this range. So we would see silver at $50 per ounce. So that's why it had to be distorted. The algorithm had to distort it a little bit, because otherwise we would see gold for $50 per ounce. And you know, I think I would buy a silver for that price. And we are still very high again. Still very high. Jeez, it was crazy. I should be selling. I should have sell my silver at the top. And I was considering that. I don't need money. I just need more safety and stability. So this is distorted, as you can see. So this is some kind of fib, but it's a reversed fib, measuring from the right to left, which is nonsense, of course. But you can see this kind of nonsense in the market, or a negative fib. There's also a possibility for a negative fib, but I'm not complicating the stuff that much. I'm not using negative fibs. I'm not even using anything below 100%. I'm just, using the fib in the range from 0 to 100% and adding something in between it. And I think that's the best approach with fib measurement, because you can really get too deep into rabbit hole. Nobody wants that, Finding myself out of the rabbit hole after 2 months of deep analysis, and then what? I'm nowhere. I'm not a better trader. I was just studying a little bit fib measurement. That's it. So from there, it started to behave normal, because it was a way to save the silver price from falling too low. Jesus. Was it the highest? Was it going to stabilize over there? It's very, it's going to go for sure higher than this, but Is it going to be higher this year? Is it going to be higher this month? That's the question. I bet it's not going to be higher this month. Let's look at what we can do as a day traders, as a analyst. Trend shifted over there. You can clearly see that by the candle size flow ratio. Small candles, like limited flow. Big candles, very decisive to fall down. And retracement towards 61.8. Let's pay attention to the candle sizes. What do they do? Now, in this case, I'm curious if we're gonna interfere. No, it's not interfering with 29.2. See that? $61.8. This was a good retracement. And from there, price gave a nice 61.8 down. See? And then it continues to trade below. So I guess we are in the downtrend now in silver. Small downtrend for me. If there's going to be a reaction from there, engulfing candle, then it's going to be a good short. Just because we were at 61.8, price had a wish to trade below, trade strongly downwards. Those candles were way bigger. Let's not even look at what was before. Let's look at this just like that. Now we are getting in a very small scale here compared to what was before. Price is running upwards. Something really wants to push it down, but it doesn't have strength to pull it down. So all it wants is to fall. I mean, go up. All it wants, you know, you see these candles. It wants to go up. But, you know, very slowly it pushes it back to the levels of let's get rid of that. the 50. At 61.8, which wasn't reached. So there's a very big struggle to keep pushing the price down. So if we gonna see a big candles, they are going to be in the direction low. So low. So yes, this was a good approach. Looking for a fib over there and shorting it from that position. Yeah. I changed the bias because you have to think what the algorithm is doing and what it is for. And which bias does it have? And sometimes this bias can change, and then you are on the wrong side. Yeah. But no setup there right now. Same with gold. Let's look at palladium. Palladium was my favorite back in the days. I was in love with palladium just because of how it moves, But it stopped moving like that. No, I was studying Elliott cases on palladium, and they were everywhere. Over there, clean Elliott's. But right now there's it's not that clean. But you can see the palladium is somehow similar to gold, to silver, and you can clearly see that the weight is down. So on the palladium, weight is down, on a gold, weight is up. So if the palladium has a trend trades below, it should mean something. It should mean something. And it does mean something to me. I think that we are, if we are going to break this line, then there might be a shift of a trend for other metals. Gold, for silver. But we are not doing that yet. So I think there's still a room for price to fall down, but not much room. Not much room. There is some strong support. See, perhaps when it taps that, it's going to reverse and break the line. If it does it, then we're gonna see a surge on metals. UK oil. Let's look at UK oil on a daily. See those big candles? I don't have any drawings on UK oil because I have all of them on US oil. Okay, let's go to the Forex section. So as you can see, it wasn't that good idea to escape there because I'm losing potential wins. No setup over there. GJ. So so what is going with GBP then? GBP is losing strength. For 1 GBP we're gonna buy less US dollar. For 1 GBP we are going to buy less Japanese yen. So it was just a coincidence that it went my way, or it was the reason. The reason was like bad GBP, no GDP growth this month in March. Yeah, it should be 0.2, but it was 0. So that's why the British pound is falling down, because the economical news was just bad. Hang on a second. You know, with economical news, there is a gamble. Because if you are not an insider, you cannot tell anything. You can just bet. So if you're trading, if in your trading you usually have a chance like less than 50%, then you can increase your chances by betting on the impact of the news to 50%, because you literally are betting for like potential outcome of a news. And you can study a little bit like sentiment. What does the politicians say? What does the people say? And then you can actually predict it a little bit better than you might think. But it's always a gamble. because the data might be they can put any data they want, and the price can behave irrationally according to the data. Now it's doing its thing, because it was, look at this on the GBP JPY. This trade, I was anticipating GBP JPY to fall, because I was trying to short it there, you see, but it did that only after a news. No, Friday 8 in the morning. Friday 8 in the morning was the news from United Kingdom GDP, actual 0%. Before that news came, so whole week. 7 days. 11 days even. But let's look just at this piece of a price action. It was 7 days. For 7 days, 7 straight days, price was building up towards the news, so that it can stabilize just before it and then drop down. So as if the algorithm was undecided, so it's what goes up has to fall down. It's not going to fall down if it doesn't want to fall down from there. So it's going to first go up. So it was irrational. It should be probably be undecided in this region and then fall down. Okay, I should wake up. But I'm already awake. So, seeing that, I feel a little bit betrayed, because, of course, perhaps I was just wrong about which fib should I trust. I trusted the bigger fib. In this case, I should be trusting the smaller one. The smaller one was 61.8. And the structure of that fib was really against a long, in my opinion, at least. Yeah. Additionally, failed 61.8 structure. So sometimes, as my mentor says, sometimes you do everything good, but the market wants to just keep you wrong, and that's how it is. No, there was no reason for me personally to trust this smaller fib. As you can see, I was wrong only because there was this build-up before bad news and then a drop. And right now, because it happened, it's still the fundamentals, my fundamentals for the trading analysis, for the technical analysis, which those are like any type you want. So for me, the biggest fibs are most important. So the bigger time frames, but not just bigger time frames, the bigger fibs, because the fib is the culmination of many candles. So if you have fib from a 1 hour time frame, from daily time frame, then you are culminating many candles from one day time frames, which gives you the significance of even a weekly or a monthly fib of a monthly time frame. So therefore, fib is for me the clearest measurement for the market. Not only for me, also for my mentor. But he uses a more basic fib. Just 50 and 61.8, nothing above that. He's not paying attention to 29.2 level, which I discovered myself because I was paying attention to many fib levels. I'm not saying that I'm perfect in my market approach, but I was really digging deep into that stuff. I don't have TradingView Premium right now because I don't see how it's going to help me trading. Like all there is which can help me be a better trader is to just spend more time on charts. That's it. Not have more indicators. On GJ, it does look like it wants to shift in a downtrend, but this is all news candles. That's why they are so big. 29.2 level reaction from there. If we get something like this, then it's going to be a strong confluence for me to short the market from there. With 29.2, 61.8 zone, yes. GBP and ZD. So, interesting stuff. GBP is getting hit, but not against NZD. So NZD is being more weakened than GBP. So New Zealand dollar. What's happening in New Zealand right now? Probably Diddy is doing something. Shouldn't be probably talking about bullshit. Shouldn't be blaming celebrities. But I watched recently a video that Didi is flying around New Zealand frequently. He's not. He's free and he does what he wants. 61.8. Over there, 61.8 over there. Let's say focus. And let's look at moving averages. Is it going to retrace higher? Or was it the end? This is not helping me. Let's flip the chart. This might help. $50. Okay. Okay, I think I know. And this pair, GBP and ZD, is not a trade for like, it's not a immediate trade, but it might be something like that. So if we retraced this region, and 29.2 is a good reference point, then I'm gonna short. I mean short, long, the 61.8. But not now. GBP CAD. I'm getting hungry here and impatient. Still have many markets to look at. No. GBP CAD. So GBP is getting hit. Well, BXY. So this is a British pound index. So British pound is getting hit consistently. Oh no. The music is over. They cloned Jim Carrey. What I'm fucking watching. Let's go to the Persian music. This is on my playlist now, so. Let's get serious. Persian music. So British pound is weakening all the time since the beginning of the year, January. No, it was already like end of January. Now we have March. So it's consistently getting hit. So there were probably like some bad news or poor economical news from that pair. And GBP, what do we have? GBP NZD, GBP CAD. And let's look at Canadian dollar. So it would be CXY. Is this Canadian dollar? What is it? Yes, Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar is more leveled. Canadian dollar. But the British pound also is at the point, but it reached below 61.8. Do you see that? When the pair makes something like that, it's a sign that it's probably going to continue the downfall. Let's look at VIX. It's through the roof. Yeah. It is like this when, you know, there's a war, there's many fresh war, many new things can happen. And the people that like to ramble about politics, getting crazy to have so many stuff to talk about. For example, I do listen sometimes to PVD podcasts because I'm leaning towards like a little bit more towards the Trump side, but it doesn't mean that I'm like happy about what he's doing, because I don't like violent solutions. VIX. It should break. We should see a stabilization slowly. Yeah, not if something is going to like to break. CXY. What is this? New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar and British pound. They are quite similar. But the New Zealand dollar is bouncing from 50. And British pound is already showed this respect 61.8. Swiss franc. Euro. Australian dollar? Yes. Australian dollar is having no like problems at all. Where is the DXY? Go back over there where it places. Let's put it there. US dollar, Australian dollar. Australian dollar has some correction. US dollar is through the roof. Japanese yen. Japanese yen had two surges upwards, but is brutally kept on the bottom. Now, I pity you if you are Japanese, because how could you trade pearl like this? It's not a pair, it's just an index, but no, I myself am Polish guy, and I don't even look at the Polish chart. Should be probably looking. I don't know what my broker is offering. Pairs. Polish pair. But you know, Polish pair is very similar to like British. So it's better to trade like GBP USD than to trade like Polish like currency against American dollar. I can go into that. Dollar is looking strong. Okay. Oh, I'm ignoring all this. So we are basically you see, this point was reached earlier, and then now you have this previous high over there. It might be important to set it. So it's 100. So dollar at the level 100. 100. It's quite significant point. You know, what else do you want to see? The USA is attacking Iran, or they are both playing along, and Israel is supporting that. I saw Netanyahu in the Fox News or something like that before. He was very proud of America, of what Trump is doing. They blame that, you know, it's all fault of Iran, that the Gaza had to be attacked and so on. It's terrible. Yeah. The life of people is at play. And I'm just looking at the charts and trying to make sense of it. So there could be a bounce from that level, which is already probably happening. Towards where? Towards the previous highs. So something like this. So we were with GBP NZD, GBP CAD, and I was looking then at the particular like indexes, like particular indexes. No. Let's speed up the process. This was a tricky one. Price broke the structure it formed. A fib above, which should suggest a weakness or a trickiness of the pair, because the trading cannot ever be too easy. No, I think I should be doing a little bit backtesting. To refresh, or you know what? Whenever I make a break from trading, then I'm gonna start with a little bit digging into old stuff and backtesting. This is how I'm gonna get back into track. And you know, this is how you also remind yourself of your old ideas and not forget about them. 50. Not a good trade. GBP AUD. What is happening over there? Let's not use a price channel, let's use a trend line. But you know, there's even the pitchfork I never use, but no, in the cases like this, I have a feeling like the pitchfork pitch fan, they call it, not a pitchfork. I never used the pitchfork before. How to use it? I don't even know how to use it. It looks like some device from other dimension to me. So we are still in a downtrend. A big candle, engulfing candle downwards from a 50. Perhaps this is it. Perhaps this is a short. A short, small short. Let's make it like that. This pitchfork is going to distract me. First time I use pitchfork, really. Okay, USD. So here I'm betting that GBP is probably going to continue the downtrend, but it's getting into some troubles following the downtrend, as you can see. But let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, it might follow the downtrend because of this. But also in the short term it might follow the uptrend because it already went way below. So if it was there, I would have different thoughts about it. But now this is so far the only setup that it's even like there. So GBP AUD. I do have special relationship with GBP AUD. I have many losing trades on that one. Okay. USD pairs and Euro pairs. I'm gonna be right back. So, like positive to see, to look and see how my artistic analysis is actually working. USD CAD, so US dollar is gaining strength. USD CAD is also a special pair to me because it moves different. What I saw on USD CAD, you cannot imagine. I mean, I'm talking about my extra abilities, psychic abilities. So I was seeing like such amazing patterns on this one. You have no idea. I would really like to, smoke some good weed and focus only on USD CAD because this pair is like amazing. Like this is just like America and Canadian dollar. This is and Canada. This is the story between those two. It's amazing. Never was there. I just know one. I've been happy, luckily, to meet one person from America, which wasn't that long ago. It was the first person I ever met live from America, and she left amazing impression on me. You really have no idea. Very, very nice young lady. So you couldn't see any kind of fib other than 88.6, and similarly there also you have 88.6. Nothing else you could be seeing, but it was enough for the price to jump from there and to reach a point of control again. So point of control is simply where the most of volume is placed. I don't like this. Yeah, this is something I like more. So you still have a point of control in the middle. Therefore, the big point of control was right. And you know, I was looking at this from a daily perspective. We have broken above the price channel that was there and is there, and if this candle closes above it, then it means this is the final like say, and the market is even probable to reverse from there. Like, nothing to trade right now. Nothing that I see. CHFJPY. Jeez, this is so complicated. You literally have to spend a big amount of your focus and time on this stuff to be able to make a decision. Overwhelmed with fibs. Now I feel FOMO because, you know, I might miss something important there. No, this is not good. This is not a good market structure. This is a structure that suggests a temporary weakness. You know, I regret one thing. I regret that I was hiding from some people that I like to trade, but actually, you know, I wasn't probably ready to say that. No, it's like coming out saying that you are a homosexual or stuff like that. It's very similar because, you know, I'm in love with the charts. Not the way like the platform moves, not the way that it, you know, stretches and so on. It does give a nice like bonus to that, but this is something more. This is like having a dream, a secret plan for escaping the rat race. Yeah, it's very deep. Now this could be a nice fib. So what do we see? Nice fib, which is retracing 61.8. no engulfing, but candle prints. But even if so, then we have a structure, a previous structure which was higher than this. And I would rather, in this kind of situation, still have a fib and focus a little bit more on it. As you can see, there's a divergence between those two highs. This is what I initially used the trend line for, to trace divergences. Because if we're gonna have price like this, yeah, you see that's the perfect condition for the price to reverse. If it goes there, then I'm gonna short it. And that's all I can say about it. It's not doing that right now, so let's move on. Canadian dollar and Japanese yen. We just had a breakout of a long-lasting like consolidation or rotation range. Point of control was in the middle of that. And we are way above that place. So, new territory, new grounds. I made this mistake before, I already told you. Like, we are nowhere, there's no reference. Okay, there is a reference. We were higher before, which means we can still reach the previous highs. It's very difficult to trade a market like this where we have no reference, because it's calling a top. It's my common mistake in my personal trading. I used to call a top, whether it's a bottom or as a top, it doesn't matter, because in the forex, those two are interchangeably used, because you have a piece of price action and you don't care. This is not a fucking Bitcoin. You are not caring that this is going to reach like 200k or 1 million, because this can go infinite and this will go infinite. That's why I give this a label, but this is a calling a top, because you see that price behaves like if it's topped once, second time. Like if it has topped out. but you know, it's still within the range of the price channel. And previously it reached higher. Can we go there? Yes, we can. And then it dropped, started dropping. Oh no, I would just leave it. I have nothing to say about it. NZD USD, New Zealand dollar versus see, that's what I'm talking about. They are behaving the same. $58.2. So that's basically although there are some differences, see. I wish I could get more data with the indexes. There's a rule: you do not catch a falling knife. This is a crypto rule, and here you would have to have a retracement to enter, something like that. But you know, at this point it would be a retracement from 61.8, so a dangerous one. Let's move on. USD JPY, similar situation to CHF JPY, but USD JPY stock fall as Iran war keeps oil at $100. Upends rate outlook. So we have some move on Nasdaq or what? This is what you're saying? No, nothing really major happens. What stock are you referring to? Stock falls as Iran keeps oil at $100. Upends rates. European stocks set for biggest 2 weeks drop in a year. US futures point to moderate falls after step falls in previous session. Investors focus on oil prices, inflation risk. Traders rapidly cut Fed rate, cut wages. the year. Dollar stands tall, pushing yen to 20-month low. Let's quickly read. That's interesting because listening to PVD podcast, there was a specialist and he said he's seeing the oil price fall down and stabilize, and this is from what they are like saying. This is Reuters. It's going to keep rising. With DCHF. I'm undecided whether I should keep the indexes up there or next to the pairs. Because Swiss franc, yeah, it's more like reversed. That's why. So it's very similar to the US dollar, how it behaves. But just on a reverse. Because they are both safe haven currencies. US dollar and Swiss franc, they're both safe haven. But you can see the dollar reached a higher point. Over the dollar is higher than this previous high, and Swiss franc is not. It's still in a downtrend. Some sort of. Also, this is not a downtrend, it's more like. No, it's a downtrend. I remember considering going short on this. I decided not to. It shows that there's a lot of strength into keeping this higher. Because, you know, when it bounced from 61.8, and it would want to give you even better discount, then it might shift the bias towards long even. Was it to be predicted over there? No, it's still somehow. You know, when I do try to focus on news and their impact on the market, I think it's only like overcomplicating stuff. So my approach towards news trading is that I try to avoid trading news. But today I found a setup on GBP AUD, right? And we have like no related news to the GBP and AUD like, directly. So given that, I might even enter this short. Yeah, and then I'm gonna hold it for a weekend, but let's just quickly go over other pairs. USD CHF, nothing that I was positive about. Oh my gosh. Okay. Rotating market. AUD USD. Coming soon. Core price index. Personal income. Really interested how it's going to be. Now it should be amazing. Forecast is is 40%, so it should stay like that, or it should be even higher. No, the market is behaving as if it's going to be amazing. As if the USA is going to flourish. This might be a long. This not. And this also nothing. It's worth keeping an eye on. Nothing. This is exhausting, you know, to look at the markets with so many, such a attention to details, so many markets. It's exhausting. Euro, JPY. For €1 we're buying less JPY with this big candle per hour. Spending too much time on trading. See that? When did we start it? Let me look at the recording. It's 2 hours already. 2 hours streaming. Damn, this is so hard. But those streams are something different, you know, than recordings, because you know anytime anyone can join me, and if the person would say, like, write something on the chat or call me even, then I would interact with that person. I need to get somehow followers, just for the sake of feeling that I'm doing something that has impact on others as well. But for now, I really need to be consistent. Only that's the only thing I need. And you know, today's the Friday. It's the last time the market moves, so I guess it's a good way to spend some time in the markets, analyze them. Euro GBP nothing. Euro NZD. Oh wait, I cannot say that it's a nothing, because it's 88.6, but it's not good. AUDTHF. AUDCAF. No, I'm missing my family from Poland. They do meet on the 20th, 21st March, but I cannot be there. I'm traveling a few days afterwards. That's a pity, because they are all. I love people now. Sometimes I also hate them. Well, price channel trading. Now, that's it. The markets are Euro PLN. So what does it mean? For €1 I'm gonna get so many PLNs. So the PLN is getting stronger. Since when? Since since 3 years. Well, that's good. So I'm traveling Poland, and then I'm gonna have to exchange some euros. Now, you see how nasty this price action is. The only thing that comes to my mind seeing this is, trading is, as I suppose, resistance kind of play. And other than that, there is nothing you can really want to do about it. USD, we can look at like USD PLN, if I find it. I cannot add anything new because I've reached the limit. Okay, so GBP AUD. I think I'm gonna enter this one. It's already very low. Yeah, I think I'm gonna enter this one. So $125 pips. Are you crazy? Gonna make this 50 pips. 55 pips. 55 pips. Yeah, 55 pips. I hope it's not visible. No, it's not. Entering GBP AUD. Okay, let's hope for the best. Stop level. Profit level. And it was short, yes. It was 0.3 pip size, very small pip size, lot size, I mean. So, okay, that's it. I placed the order on GBP AUD. Let's even mark this with a vertical line. And that's it. I'm gonna hold it for the weekend. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And I think I'm gonna record this kind of like live streams because it's more convenient. I don't have to upload it later, and it also requires me to focus a little bit more. So, and there's no pressure, there's no audience, then there's no pressure. It's going to be different if I do have audience, then I'm probably not gonna do live streams or do them for the sake of the audience to interact more with them, because I don't have it anymore. I don't have it yet. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next.